Good morning. This is Sally Morgan, physical therapist, craniosacral therapist, and Tellington T-Touch practitioner for animals and people. This is Tristan. He's a Corgi, and we're here for an episode of Conversations with a Corgi. Bisky Conversations. And actually, the title of our little thing here, Conversations with a Corgi, is somewhat related to what I want to talk about today. A whole bunch of sort of coincidental, but not ever coincidences, accidents really. Things have conspired this week to remind me once again about the connections between pet lovers and dog people in particular. So it's this idea of 7 degrees of separation. So the first thing, out of the blue, my sister has someone email her, a dog lover, from North Carolina, saying, "Oh my God, I got this rescue dog. She saved my life. I learned so much. I'm writing a book. I'm so interested in what you do." And it was quite long and not really in my sister's wheelhouse. So they forwarded it to me because it's about dog behavior and dog training and working with dogs, how we relate to animals. So this lovely person's name is Debbie. And I respond to her email. She writes back. We've written back and forth now like 6 times. And she, like so many of us, I mean, all of us are really 7 degrees from Debbie. And we might literally be. She got this rescue dog and it taught her everything about her life and about being with people and animals and changed her life and shaped her profoundly. How many of us have been changed like that by an animal? I mean, I talked about this in my TED Talk. Well, it turns out after there are many emails back and forth, Debbie has heard about Tellington T-Touch, and because the first thing I said is she was looking for like-minded people. And I said, you need to join T-Touch. You need to get in touch with T-Touch people. They're everywhere around the world. Those people are going to feel like you do about animals, because that is part of T-Touch training, is understanding animals in a way that is not positive reinforcement. It's way beyond that. It's seeing that animal as a truly brilliant, intelligent, emotional being, unique. Even if he is a herding dog, he is going to have unique qualities. He may not want to herd at all. So he may actually be a really good ratter, or a good scent dog. So there's an ability with T-Touch training to see animals in a whole different way, which is different from the animal training world, but not different from the way we all want to and do see most of our animals. So this lady, Debbie, it turns out is living in the end of North Carolina away from my sister. And lo and behold, there's a person I know named Kelly who lives out there, and she has recently graduated as a T-Touch practitioner. Again, another person whose life with her dog was profoundly changed by this work. She had a dog that was called aggressive or whatever by people, and she knew there was more than that, wanted to get to the reasons for his behavior, wanted a way to work with him and help change him to be a different kind of more interactive, friendly dog, and to be better with other dogs, and to listen to her when he was stressed instead of reacting. So that's a lot of what T-Touch is. And so she has a similar story to this person, Debbie. So I hook them up, and turns out they don't live very far apart. Debbie also lived in Arizona, I think it was, Arizona. And at the time that she was living out there, lo and behold, is around the time that I went out there for a T-Touch thing and taught people about craniosacral therapy. We were just, a year and an hour or 2 apart in our interacting out there. And of course, she has German Shepherd type dogs, as does my friend Kelly in North Carolina. And so within a few hours of emails back and forth, that were a page long, it turns out Debbie and I have lots of connections. I mean, I, of course, love German Shepherd-y type dogs myself, so this was all a good thing. And in fact, when I was at that T-Touch course, this one was in Santa Fe around that same time period, I was working with a rescue dog who was a German Shepherd type, who actually looks like the dog Debbie has. Is not Debbie's dog, I'm sure. But, there's just these coincidences that line up. And of course, she's interested in chiropractic and flower essences. We have a lot in common with the flower essences. So this person, totally out of the blue, has a lot of alignments with me. And also this week, my client that I talked about last time with the dog with vestibular syndrome came over to pick up some dental drops. Don't we all need those when our kids are a certain age? And she's walking around my house, and it turns out there's a little wooden carved statue from a place that supports artists near here. And one of my clients gave it to me thinking it was a Corgi, and this person has Shiba Inus, and she has the exact same one because it looks to her like a Shiba Inu. Well, of course, let's face it, Corgis and Shibas, except for the leg length, they're pretty similar, especially in some kind of a caricature. But the person who gave me the Shiba Inu / Corgi lives about a mile from this person. And they have crossed each other's paths at different parties and things. So, and that person had what? A German Shepherd-y type dog that she had rescued and had trouble with, actually. And I worked with her dog in that regard as well. So, you know, all of us dog people and pet people in general, we're not too far removed from each other. Suzanne Clothier, a really famous dog trainer now and a great writer, wrote Bones Would Rain from the Sky. Suzanne began in T-Touch training, and that shifted her view of dogs, or at least aligned with her view of dogs, as not something that you want to, you know, say no and smack them on the nose if they pee in the house. Like, why are they doing that? Where did we go wrong? I mean, looking at the person. And Suzanne and I have connected off and on over the years, and we just really have a lot in common. And, you know, she has, of course, German Shepherd type dogs. Biscuit, do you look like a German Shepherd? He says, kinda. So, I mean, I love dogs with their ears up like this. Like, to me, the more it looks like a wolf or a coyote, the more I love them. Huskies, Malamutes, love all those dogs. So, anyway, the point today is that there's 7 degrees of separation really does apply to animal people, and it helps keep us connected in the way that we want that connection with our animals. And in a world where we are bombarded with, you know, ideas of dominance, and for me it's just so frustrating. All the programs in animal behavior and the literature of animal behavior is just full of this idea of animals in nature as submissive or combative and needing to be dominated, and it's very frustrating. And it's so refreshing to meet other people that feel that animals are companions, are friends. We are lucky to share time with them. We are not dog owners, we're dog caretakers. All these ideas are, there's a lot of people that agree with us. And it's not too hard to find someone 7 degrees away from somebody you know. I mean, a lot of people that might listen to this have been following my sister and me and didn't realize that we were sisters. So there's a step closer right there. And we're both connected with a lot of top animal people in the world. You know, and I'm so happy to see people like Frans de Waal, who wrote Are We Smart Enough to Know How Smart Animals Are? And Temple Grandin, who is a real scientist, real black and white scientist, but she's really great at looking at studies of animal intelligence and how they are flawed. And, you know, taking a horse intelligence test and giving it to dogs and toddlers and finding out that the dogs actually did the best on the test, and that the test had all these issues with it that were, you know, limited by the minds of the people developing it. So, and then there's Carl Safina, who was primarily known as like this current Jacques Cousteau type guy doing water research, and now his writing, his most recent book that I've read is about, you know, animals' emotions and feelings. And he looked at elephants and dogs and dolphins and wolves. And he talks a lot about bonobos, which is my favorite thing in the animal world. And he actually went to see where there are a few bonobos left in the world. And for those who don't know, there's something related to a chimp, but they're a matriarchal, very peaceful society. Chimps are kind of combative. They're always fighting and arguing with each other. And with the perspective we have in the animal behavior community, that model with the chimps fits pretty well with what we expect, but the bonobos are totally different. We love our rescues. They're all good dogs. Yes, they all are. They all are good dogs. When I go to these T-Touch classes, you know, there's always people in there that are crying, and Kelly was one of them, that have a really difficult dog and doesn't know how to work with them. And we give these people the skills they need to be able to interact with their dogs and their understanding. And the great thing is all the tools and T-touches we use work. And they might not work 100%, but they work a lot. And people have a path to get a relationship with their dog and help that dog walk out in public on a leash without trying to kill every dog and person it passes. And this is a great achievement. So think about the 7 degrees of separation between you and the other animal people that support you in your life. I mean, Danny's out in South Dakota. I'm out here in Massachusetts, and I know she's got my back, and I've got hers if she has a dog problem or if I have a dog problem. And she actually has a pretty big pack, and I may be calling you when I get a new Corgi if Tristan wants to eat him. Hopefully he won't. He loves the baby wiener and his other little friends. He's got quite a few friends now. Anyway, so it's a wonderful thing that we live in a world with the internet and ease to connect with people and to find people that feel the way we do. That gives us a lot of support in our work to bring a new understanding to the world of animals, because people really, in my experience, are just desperate to find connections with their animals in ways that don't feel mean, threatening, dominating, all of that. So hooray for dog people once again, right, Tristan? And horse people and cat people. I have a lot of friends that are very big cat people, and they are super connected about their cats, so they're not any different from the dog people in the world. So thanks for joining us today. Next week, I think I'll be back on Tuesday. I don't know. It could be Thursday or Friday. I'm also contemplating finishing my English PhD program, in which case that would be like taking on a full-time job and a half, and I might not have time to do anything else for quite a while. So we'll see how that goes. It's all in process between now and May 1st. A lot could happen. Thanks for joining us today. Everybody have a great day and spend some extra time with your pets.